Listen closely because I want you to feel this deep in your soul. There comes a moment in every person's life when betrayal cuts so deep that it almost breaks you. You trusted someone, you gave them your energy, your love, your loyalty, and they threw it all away like it meant nothing. But here's the truth they'll never admit. Their betrayal wasn't your downfall, it was their curse. The pain they caused you will become the very chain that haunts them because no one escapes the energy they create. Life has a way of circling back. What you put out always returns, and their betrayal will follow them like a shadow they can't outrun. You see, they might smile now, they might look like they've moved on, but inside there's an emptiness they can't fill. Because when you betray someone genuine, someone who loved with purity, someone who stood by you, you don't just lose a person, you lose your peace. They'll replay those moments in their mind when they realize what they threw away. They'll feel that guilt creeping in when life reminds them of your kindness, your strength, your presence. They will try to fill that void with distractions, but every time the noise fades, the truth will echo back louder. They betrayed the wrong one. And you, my friend, you are not here to seek revenge or validation. You are here to rise. You are here to turn that pain into power. Because betrayal doesn't define you, your comeback does. The universe didn't let them break you. It allowed you to see who truly belongs in your next chapter. Every sleepless night, every tear, every silent scream, all of it is shaping you into something unstoppable. The fire they started in you will become the light that guides your next victory. So don't waste your energy wishing karma on them, Calm. It's already on its way. Your focus should be on your evolution, your growth, your next level, because when you succeed, when you heal, when you rise above it all, that's when the real haunting begins. Every time they see your name, every time they hear your success, every time they realize you're happier without them, their betrayal will echo in their conscience. They'll wish they had treated you better. They'll wish they had stayed true. But by then, it'll be too late. You're not a victim of betrayal. You are a survivor, a warrior, a reborn soul. Let their betrayal be the fuel that powers your greatness. Let it sharpen your purpose, because the truth is, they didn't destroy you. They exposed themselves. And while they're trapped in their own regret, you'll be too busy building a life so powerful, so fulfilling, that their memory becomes nothing but a lesson. So stand tall, breathe deep, and walk forward with pride, because their betrayal will haunt them forever, but your strength will define you for life. Betrayal is never about you. It's always a mirror reflecting who they truly are. When someone betrays you, they're not showing your weakness, they're exposing their emptiness. You were real, you were loyal, you gave from your heart, and that's something they couldn't match or understand. They didn't betray you because you lacked something. They betrayed you because they lacked integrity, courage, and depth. In their world, authenticity feels like a threat. Your light made them confront their own darkness, and instead of rising to meet it, they ran from it. That's what betrayal is. Cowardice disguised as confidence, fear pretending to be freedom. But remember this, their actions don't define your value. They define theirs. You see, when people betray you, they think they've taken something from you. They think they've won a game you didn't even know you were playing. But what they don't realize is that the moment they walked away from truth, they stepped into a life of emptiness. Because betrayal doesn't just wound the betrayed, it stains the betrayer. It follows them in silence. They might put on a smile, act like they're free, but deep down, they know what they did. Every time they look in the mirror, there's a flicker of shame they can't silence. You can't run from your own reflection, and one day their choices will catch up to them in ways they never imagined. You, on the other hand, are not broken, you are becoming. This is the part of your story that shapes your strength. Don't let their actions harden your heart. Let them refine it. Because when you keep your character intact, when you refuse to let their poison turn you bitter, you win in the most powerful way. The universe always rewards truth, and your integrity is your greatest armor. You keep walking, keep growing, keep shining, and let life handle the rest. Their betrayal was never a reflection of your worth. It was a reflection of their fear, and that fear will haunt them far longer than your pain ever will. Stand tall in your truth, because in the end, it's not their lies that echo. It's your strength that speaks. Pain is not the end of your story. It's the beginning of your transformation. When betrayal strikes, it shakes the very core of who you are. It makes you question everything, your judgment, your worth, your love. But in that breaking moment, something extraordinary is happening. The old version of you, the one that tolerated disrespect, the one that gave endlessly without boundaries, is being stripped away. What's left is raw, real, and ready for rebirth. Pain isn't here to destroy you, it's here to awaken you. It's life's greatest teacher, a force that carves depth into your soul and gives strength to your voice. Every tear you shed, every sleepless night you survive, is a seed of resilience being planted deep within you. The people who betrayed you thought they were taking your power, but they were actually handing it to you, because once you've walked through pain that deep, you become unstoppable. You learn that your strength isn't found in avoiding pain, but in facing it, embracing it, and using it as fuel. That fire inside you, the one that burns after betrayal, is the same fire that will light the path to your greatest comeback. You start realizing that the pain you felt wasn't punishment, it was preparation. Preparation for a new chapter, a new mindset, and a new level of self-respect that can't be shaken by anyone's betrayal. When you channel your pain into power, you change the game. You stop asking why they did it, and you start focusing on what you're becoming because of it. The pain becomes your personal trainer, pushing you to grow, to evolve, to rise higher than you ever thought possible. You build emotional muscles that can't be broken. You develop clarity that cuts through manipulation. You gain wisdom that only those who've been wounded can truly understand. And the moment you realize your pain has turned into purpose, everything shifts. Their betrayal may have caused your pain, but it's your power now. They'll look at you one day and see someone unrecognizable, stronger, wiser, more grounded, more alive. That's when the haunting begins for them, because the very pain they caused became the force that elevated you. The storm they created didn't drown you. It baptized you into your next level of greatness. Pain is not your enemy. It's your greatest ally in disguise. When betrayal hits you, it feels like the world has shattered beneath your feet. Your heart aches, your trust burns, and every part of you wants to scream, "Why me?" But that question is the first spark of transformation, because pain doesn't come to destroy you, it comes to sculpt you. The truth is, growth never comes wrapped in comfort. It comes through fire, through heartbreak, through betrayal. It's the universe's way of stripping away everything that no longer serves you so that you can meet the strongest, most authentic version of yourself. That pain you feel right now, it's the pressure that's creating the diamond within you. When someone betrays you, they think they've broken you, but what they've actually done is awaken you. Pain shakes you awake to the power you forgot you had. It forces you to look within, to confront your own fears, your boundaries, your truth. And in that confrontation, you rise. You stop needing validation from others because you finally realize that your worth doesn't depend on who stays or who leaves. You start to see pain for what it really is: transformation in progress. Every sleepless night, every tear that hits your pillow, every breath you take while holding back anger, that's not weakness. That's rebirth happening in real time. Pain teaches you what peace really means. It shows you who deserves access to your heart and who doesn't. It teaches you self-respect in ways that comfort never could. The very people who tried to hurt you have unknowingly become your trainers, building your emotional endurance, shaping your mental strength, and teaching you the value of your energy. Because once you've survived betrayal, you realize something powerful. You are capable of surviving anything. You become immune to the games, the manipulation, the lies. You develop a quiet strength, the kind that doesn't need to be loud, it just is. And here's the beautiful twist: the pain they caused you becomes their punishment, because while you're outgrowing the past, they're stuck living in the echo of their own betrayal. Every time they see your glow, your confidence, your peace, it will remind them of what they lost and what you became. Pain has turned you into a force of nature, unshakable and unstoppable. It didn't break you, it built you. You walked through the fire, and instead of burning, you learned how to shine. Karma is real and it never misses its mark. When someone betrays you, they think they've gotten away with it. They walk away believing their lies are buried, that the damage they caused will fade, that life won't hold them accountable. But the universe has a balance sheet and it never forgets. What you put into the world always finds its way back, not because of revenge, but because of energy. Every action, every intention, every betrayal carries a vibration, and that vibration circles back to its source. When someone breaks trust, manipulates, or deceives, they're planting seeds of chaos in their own life. They may not see it today, but those seeds always grow. Life has a way of showing people the mirror. Sooner or later, they'll feel the same pain they caused you. Not necessarily from you, but from someone else, or even from their own emptiness. They'll wake up one day, surrounded by the consequences of their choices, wondering why everything they touch falls apart. That's karma. It doesn't always strike immediately, but when it arrives perfectly timed. You won't have to lift a finger or wish them harm. The energy they sent out will come back to them with precision. And when it does, it won't just haunt them, it will teach them. Your job isn't to chase revenge. Your job is to evolve. Let life take care of the balancing act. Because as they face their karma, you'll be reaping the rewards of your strength. You'll attract peace, success, and love, all because you stayed true when they chose deceit. That's how the universe works. The energy you give comes back multiplied, and so does theirs. They'll learn that betraying someone genuine is never a win, it's a sentence. Their betrayal will haunt them forever, not because you curse them, but because truth always returns to the one who tried to escape it. Karma is one of life's most powerful forces, unseen, unstoppable, and undeniable. When someone betrays you, they think it's over. They think they've fooled you, tricked you, and moved on untouched. But what they don't understand is that the energy they've released into the world has already begun its journey back to them. The universe doesn't need your help to deliver justice. It operates on truth, vibration, and timing. Every word, every action, every betrayal sends out an energetic ripple, and sooner or later, that ripple returns to its source with a force they can't outrun. When someone betrays a pure soul, they create their own curse. They may appear happy on the outside, laughing, pretending to live freely, but deep within, the weight of their actions starts to build. It begins as guilt, something small they can ignore. Then it grows into anxiety, sleepless nights, restlessness. They try to cover it with distractions, new people, fake smile, but the universe has already marked the energy. You can't escape what you've put into the world. Life is a mirror, and eventually it reflects everything back. The love you've given, the pain you've caused, the truth you've denied. Karma doesn't rush because it's never late. It waits until the lesson will hit the hardest. It comes when they least expect it, when they finally care about someone and feel the same sting they once caused, when their lies come full circle, when the person they wronged rises above them in strength and peace. And in that moment, they'll realize what they've lost. That realization, that silent ache of regret, is the haunting. Because betrayal doesn't end with the act. It echoes through their life until they finally face themselves. But here's the beauty in it. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to prove your worth or demand justice. The universe does that for you. While they're tangled in the web of their own deceit, you're free to rise, to grow, to build the life they thought you couldn't. That's the magic of divine balance. Your pain becomes your breakthrough, and their betrayal becomes their burden. You become living proof that integrity always wins. So don't chase revenge, just heal. Don't wish them pain. Wish yourself peace. Because karma will handle what you can't. The energy they gave will find its way home, and when it does, it won't knock gently. It will remind them of everything they threw away. Their betrayal will haunt them not because you demanded it, but because truth demands balance, and balance always comes. Their loss is permanent, but your growth is eternal. When someone betrays you, they don't just walk away from a relationship. They walk away from something real, something powerful, something rare. You were a blessing in their life, and they couldn't see it. They mistook your loyalty for weakness, your kindness for naivety, your patience for permission. They thought they could replace you, that they could find someone better, easier, more convenient. But what they didn't understand is that genuine souls don't come around twice. They threw away gold thinking it was dust, and now they're left holding emptiness that nothing else can fill. As you rise, you'll start to see how everything they lost becomes your gain. Their betrayal pushed you to grow in ways you never imagined. It forced you to look within, to rebuild yourself stronger, wiser, more aware. You stopped chasing approval and started chasing purpose. You realized that you were never the one losing. You were being redirected towards something greater. And now, as you evolve, their absence becomes irrelevant. Because while they were busy underestimating you, you were busy transforming into the version of yourself that no longer needs them. And you'll be glowing differently because your growth isn't about revenge. It's about becoming who you were always meant to be. The pain they caused became your teacher. The loss became your liberation. You found peace in places they never could. So while their betrayal echoes through their conscience, your evolution speaks louder. Their loss is their forever reminder, and your growth, that's your victory, your freedom, your eternal rise. You hold the power of transformation. It's a power they never understood, and that's why they tried to break you. Betrayal might have knocked you down, but it also woke you up. It showed you what you're capable of when everything familiar falls apart. You see, the people who betray you think they've taken something from you, your peace, your confidence, your trust. But in reality, they've handed you the greatest opportunity life can offer, the chance to rebuild yourself stronger than ever before. Transformation doesn't happen in comfort, it happens in chaos. It's born from heartbreak, from disappointment, from the moments you thought you couldn't go on, but did anyway. That's the beauty of pain when you understand its purpose. Every wound they caused became an opening for strength to grow. Every tear watered the seed of resilience deep inside you. You didn't just survive what they did, you evolved because of it. Their betrayal forced you to meet the version of yourself that was waiting to be unleashed, the confident, grounded, unstoppable you, the version that no longer begs to be seen because you've learned to see yourself. That's real transformation, turning pain into purpose, turning wounds into wisdom, turning endings into new beginnings. And here's the truth, they'll see it. They'll see the glow that came from the darkness they threw you into. They'll see the strength that emerged from the pain they caused. They'll see that you didn't just heal, you elevated, and that's what will haunt them. Because while they expected to see you broken, they'll see you reborn. While they thought they took your light, you became a fire. You learned to channel your energy into growth, not revenge. You discovered that your power doesn't come from others' approval, it comes from your own alignment. Transformation is your silent revenge. It's the moment when your peace becomes louder than their chaos, when your success becomes the echo of everything they tried to destroy, when you realize that you no longer need closure because your evolution is the closure. You've outgrown their world, their lies, their games, and now you walk forward untouchable, unshaken, and free. Their betrayal became your awakening, and your transformation became their haunting. Because nothing terrifies a betrayer more than seeing the person they tried to break become unstoppable. Success is the ultimate revenge. Not because it hurts them, but because it heals you. When someone betrays you, they expect you to fall apart. They expect you to drown in bitterness, to lose your spark, to stay broken. But there is nothing more powerful, nothing more poetic than turning that pain into power and building a life so beautiful that it silences every doubt, every insult, every betrayal. Success isn't just about money or fame, it's about peace, freedom, and self-respect. It's about waking up in the morning knowing you've turned your wounds into wisdom and your heartbreak into hunger. That's the kind of success that no one can take from you. They thought they could destroy your spirit, but what they didn't realize is that betrayal doesn't break warriors, it forges them. Every disappointment, every tear, every sleepless night becomes fuel for your rise. You start grinding not to prove them wrong, but to prove yourself right. You learn to channel all that hurt into focus, all that anger into creation, all that sadness into strength. Because deep down, you know something powerful. Success isn't about revenge, it's about evolution. When you step into your power, when you start thriving, you're not fighting them anymore, that you're leaving them behind. And that's when the haunting begins for them. When they see you shining without them, growing without them, living your best life while they're still stuck in the same patterns that made them betray you in the first place. Every win you achieve becomes a mirror reflecting their mistake. Every smile you wear becomes a reminder of what they lost. They'll try to downplay it, act unbothered, pretend it doesn't sting, but deep down, they'll feel it. Because there's no peace in betraying someone who rose higher than your hate. You, on the other hand, will feel something deeper than satisfaction. You'll feel freedom. You'll realize that your revenge was never meant to hurt them. It was meant to heal you. Your success becomes your statement that no betrayal, no pain, no person has the power to define your destiny. You define it. And as you keep rising, they'll keep watching, haunted by the truth that their betrayal didn't break you. It built the champion you were always meant to become. Success is the ultimate revenge, not because it destroys your enemies, but because it transforms your pain into purpose. When someone betrays you, they secretly hope that you'll crumble. They hope you'll give up, stay small, and drown in the heartbreak they caused. They want to feel powerful by watching you suffer because deep down they fear your potential. But what they don't understand is that betrayal doesn't weaken those with purpose. It awakens them. It becomes the spark that ignites something unstoppable inside you. When life pushes you to your knees, that's when the fire begins to burn. The fire that says, I will rise, I will not let this define me. I will build something so incredible that they will have to watch from a distance. Success after betrayal isn't about proving them wrong. It's about proving yourself right. It's about remembering who you are, reclaiming your strength, and creating a life that radiates power, peace, and fulfillment. You channel the pain into progress. You take every insult, every broken promise, every silent night of crying, and you turn it into momentum. You grind harder, not out of revenge, but out of rebirth. You pour your energy into growth, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. Every day you choose progress over bitterness, you're winning. Every time you show up for yourself instead of seeking validation, you're healing. And then one day, everything shifts. The same people who betrayed you will have to watch the glow up they helped create. They'll see you thriving in ways they never expected, and they'll realize that they fueled your evolution. Your success will remind them of their failure to break you. It will haunt them, not because you sought revenge, but because they'll see what they lost. You'll walk into rooms they can't enter, live at peace they can't buy, and build a life that reflects your resilience. And when they think back, they'll remember how their betrayal was the moment you became unstoppable. Your success becomes the silence that speaks louder than any confrontation. It's the calm confidence that says, I didn't need to fight you, I just needed to find me. That's the kind of revenge no one can argue with. Success built from pain, power born from betrayal, peace earned through perseverance. They tried to break your wings, but all they did was teach you how to fly higher. And as you soar above the noise, your success becomes their reminder. They created a storm, but you became lightning. Your healing is their haunting. Not because you sought to punish them, but because your restoration becomes the echo of their own bad choices. When someone betrays you, they expect your wounds to define you, to keep you small, to keep you replaying the hurt on loop. Instead, what they'll remember is your recovery. They'll be haunted by the fact that while they were busy trying to break you, you quietly rebuilt yourself, stronger, clearer, and more radiant than before. Healing isn't a passive recovery, it's an active rebellion. Every step you take away from pain toward peace is another reminder to them that what they did couldn't keep you down. Healing sharpens your presence. It polishes your character until the surface reflects truth, and that reflection will be the last thing they wanted to see. When you start sleeping again, laughing again, loving again, each of those moments becomes a mirror showing them what they threw away. They'll see you in places they used to occupy and feel a cold recognition. You are whole without them. That recognition will sting because they miscalculated. They assumed the fastest route to control was to wound you, but they failed to account for the thing that always wins against betrayal: time plus action. Time heals, but action accelerates. Your deliberate choices to heal, to set boundaries, to pursue growth, to seek joy are the actions that transform your pain into their haunting. Healing rewires your story. It turns the chapter of hurt into a chapter of power. You don't waste energy plotting revenge, you invest it in yourself. You study, you build, you create, you forgive, not to absolve them, but to free yourself. That freedom is disorienting for a betrayer because they expected you to be tethered to resentment. When they see you living freely, when they hear your name associated with success and serenity, it becomes a persistent reminder of their failure. Their conscience will fester in quiet moments, in traffic, at midnight, in a photo that flashes their memory of you. And that's the haunting. The most devastating thing for someone who betrayed you is realizing you didn't need them to become who you were meant to be. Your healing is not a favor to them, it's a declaration. It says loudly and calmly that you will not be defined by another person's cruelty. So rise with intention, heal with speed, live with abundance. Let your peace do the talking. In the silence of your healed life, they will hear the loudest message of all: you are unbreakable, and their betrayal will follow them long after you've moved on. Don't chase closure, create freedom. That's the real power move after betrayal. When someone betrays you, your first instinct is to demand answers, to ask why, to seek validation, to make sense of something senseless. You replay conversations, you question your worth, you imagine confrontations that will never happen, but here's the truth. Closure doesn't come from them, it comes from you. It's not about hearing their apology, it's about realizing you no longer need it. Freedom begins the moment you stop waiting for them to make it right and decide to make yourself whole instead. That's when the healing shifts from pain to empowerment. You'll reach a point where you no longer need to hear "I'm sorry." You'll find peace in the realization that you've already forgiven them. Not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. You'll build a life that no longer revolves around their memory, and that's when the haunting begins for them, because they'll see that their betrayal didn't destroy you, it set you free. You stopped chasing closure, and instead you built freedom, and that freedom will echo in their conscience forever. Don't chase closure. Create freedom. That's the truth most people never realize after betrayal. When someone breaks your trust, it's human to want answers. You want to know why they did it, how they could throw away something so real, so genuine, so sacred. You wait for an apology, for a confession, for some kind of justice that makes the pain make sense. But closure doesn't come wrapped in words, it comes from within. The moment you stop expecting them to heal what they broke, you begin to heal yourself. You stop giving them power over your peace, and that's where freedom begins. You see, closure from a betrayer is an illusion. Even if they apologized, it would never be enough because it can't undo the sleepless nights, the doubt, or the trust they shattered. What truly sets you free is the decision to move on without needing anything from them. It's the quiet realization that their choices were about them, not you. It's the understanding that you didn't lose a soulmate, you lost a lesson. When you stop chasing closure, you're no longer chained to their version of the story. You reclaim the narrative and rewrite it with strength. That's liberation. Creating your own freedom means refusing to carry the weight of their betrayal any longer. It means choosing peace even when your mind wants revenge. It's walking away not because you're weak, but because you've learned your value. You stop waiting for them to see your worth and start seeing it yourself. And the moment you do, everything changes. You breathe differently, you walk taller, you smile with real joy again, not the kind that hides pain, but the kind that radiates self-respect. That's when they start to notice. That's when the haunting begins. Because nothing torments a betrayer more than seeing the person they hurt thriving in silence. They expect your anger, your tears, your chaos, but not your calm. Your peace is their punishment. Your glow becomes the mirror that reflects their guilt. While they stay stuck replaying their mistakes, you move forward with grace. You no longer seek closure from the person who caused the wound because you've become your own cure. That's real power. That's freedom. One day, they'll realize what they lost, the warmth, the loyalty, the love they'll never find again. But by then, you'll be too far ahead, too healed to look back. You'll have turned pain into wisdom and heartbreak into freedom. And while they live haunted by the silence of your peace, you'll live blessed by the sound of your freedom. Betrayal reveals purpose. It doesn't happen by accident, it happens for alignment. When someone betrays you, it feels like your whole world has collapsed, like everything you believed in was a lie. You question your intuition, your worth, and even your future. But beneath all that pain, something powerful is shifting. Life is not punishing you, it's positioning you. Every betrayal is a redirection, a divine intervention removing the wrong people from your path so that the right doors can open. What feels like destruction in the moment is actually construction for your destiny. You were never being broken, you were being built. The truth is, if they hadn't betrayed you, you might still be stuck where you didn't belong. You might still be pouring love into people who only drained you, giving loyalty to those who never intended to give it back. Betrayal has a painful way of clearing the path. It forces you to grow. It teaches you to trust yourself again, to listen to your intuition, to value your energy, to choose peace over approval. Sometimes God or the universe allows betrayal to show you what was hidden, to expose the truth you didn't want to see. And though it hurts, that exposure is a blessing. Because once you see people for who they truly are, you stop settling for less than you deserve. You begin to realize that every disappointment had purpose. The people who left were never meant to stay. The people who hurt you were meant to wake you. You start to evolve into someone stronger, wiser, more grounded. You stop chasing temporary validation and start building lasting vision. And that's what haunts them, knowing that their betrayal didn't destroy you, it directed you toward greatness. While they're stuck in the same patterns, you're out there walking into the next chapter of your destiny, untouched and unstoppable. When you look back one day, you'll thank the betrayal. You'll see how it shaped you, how it pushed you into purpose, because without that pain, you would never have discovered your power. That's the irony of betrayal. They thought they ended something, but they actually began everything. You didn't lose them. You found yourself. Their betrayal became the bridge that carried you into your purpose, and that truth will echo in their mind forever. Revenge isn't your responsibility. Your success is. The most powerful way to respond to betrayal is not through anger, arguments, or vengeance. It's through evolution. When someone betrays you, they expect your destruction. They want to see you broken, bitter, and lost. But imagine their confusion when you rise instead, when you use the very pain they caused as the energy to build something unshakable. That's the moment you take your power back. That's the moment their betrayal begins to haunt them, because you turned what was meant to end you into what empowered you. You see, your comeback is your justice. Every step you take forward, every achievement, every smile after the storm is a reminder that they never truly had control. Betrayal may have wounded you, but it didn't define you. Your response did. When you channel that hurt into purpose, when you pour that fire into your goals, you transform. You no longer operate from pain. You operate from power. You stop chasing explanations and start building empires. You stop trying to prove them wrong and start proving yourself right. That's how you win. That's how you rise. Because success is not just about wealth or recognition. It's about peace. It's about reclaiming your joy, your confidence, your strength. It's about walking into rooms they never imagined you could enter, smiling a smile they can't forget. It's about thriving so loudly that their memory of betraying you becomes their own silent regret. They'll see you doing better without them, becoming everything they never believed you could be, and that will echo in their conscience forever. The greatest revenge is not destruction, it's transformation. It's showing the world that no betrayal can stop someone who knows their worth. You don't need to fight for closure or scream for justice. Your life becomes the evidence. Your resilience becomes the proof. Let your glow be louder than your grief. Let your peace speak louder than your pain. That's the legacy of a warrior, someone who was betrayed but not broken, hurt but not hopeless, tested but triumphant. And when they finally realize what they lost, the loyalty, the love, the version of you that once believed in them, it will haunt them every single day because you didn't just survive their betrayal, you turned it into the foundation of your success. In the end, betrayal is not your downfall. It's your awakening. It's the breaking that built you, the storm that shaped you, the pain that purified your soul. The people who turned their backs on you thought they were walking away from someone ordinary, but they were actually creating someone extraordinary. They thought they buried you, not knowing you were a seed. And when you rise, not with anger, not with vengeance, but with clarity and confidence, that's when their betrayal begins to haunt them because they realize too late that what they threw away was irreplaceable. You were never the weak one. You were the gift and they mishandled it. You see, betrayal doesn't define who you are. It reveals who they are. It shows you their character and it refines yours. You don't come out of betrayal the same person. You come out wiser, stronger, and sharper. You learn that forgiveness isn't about excusing them. It's about freeing yourself. You stop needing apologies because your peace is the only validation you need. And that's where your real power lies, in your ability to move forward, to rebuild, to love again without fear. You evolve so deeply that they no longer recognize you, and that evolution becomes the echo that keeps them awake at night. The truth is, their betrayal will chase them long after you've moved on. It will show up in every person who doesn't love them the way you did, in every friendship that lacks the loyalty you gave, in every moment they realize they lost something real. While they replay their mistakes, you'll be busy rewriting your destiny. Your glow will become their ghost. Your peace will be the sound that reminds them of the chaos they created. That's the poetic justice of betrayal. The betrayer lives in regret, and the betrayed rises in purpose. So don't look back. Don't waste another breath wishing things were different. Stand tall in your truth and let your light speak for itself. The pain that once broke you has become your power. The story that once hurt you has become your message. You have transformed your scars into strength, and now the world will witness your rise. Their betrayal was the fire, but you became the flame. And that flame will burn bright long after their regret begins to haunt them forever.